Welcome to the T-Pac Arcade. Today's game is Fathom for the Atari 2600. In this 1983 search-action game from Imagic, King Neptune's daughter Neptina has been captured by the Titans, and the Sea Knight Proteus is out to rescue her. Now, the means of rescuing her are pretty simple. Collect all 3 pieces of the trident to break her prison, but the execution of those means is not so simple. See, each round of Fathom is divided into 3 sections: a dolphin section, a seagull section, and another dolphin section. Why dolphins and seagulls? Well, for some reason, Proteus figures the best way to go about his mission undetected by the Titans is by transforming into a big fish known for ultrasonic squeaking, and a medium-sized bird known for stealing French fries on the beach. I don't know. You do you, Proteus. As a dolphin, you start off with 50 points, and you descend into the sea screen by screen, swimming by holding the action button while moving the joystick. First, you encounter rows of octopi and seahorses. You want to avoid the octopi because they'll siphon your points, which also happen to be your life meter, and grab the seahorses to boost your score. On certain screens, collecting all the seahorses before you exit earns you a star, which is redeemed for 1/3 of a trident. Starting to sound confusing? Hang tight, we've barely even started. The following section is the Seaweed Tunnel, where you try to stay in the lane while collecting as many ascending seahorses as possible. The bottom section of the sea is where Neptina is imprisoned, although you're going to need all 3 pieces of the trident to actually set her free. So if you've collected enough seahorses between the octopi and seaweed sections, you'll have a bird icon that lets you resurface and transform into the seagull to collect more beach french fries. I mean, the remaining pieces of the trident. As a seagull, you flap your wings with the action button and glide by releasing and directing the joystick. You can go left and right, screen by screen, until you reach volcanoes, blocking your path with lava jets. But in areas without volcanoes, you can ascend vertically into cloud sections. Here, you have to avoid colliding with crows, which also siphon your points, and collect pink clouds to boost your score. Much like the seahorses, collecting all clouds on specific screens before you exit earns you another star, aka another 1/3 of the trident. And collecting enough pink clouds overall gives you a dolphin icon to return to the sea and set the mermaid free, provided you've assembled the whole trident by then. Problem is, since trident stars only appear on certain screens, entering and exiting too many screens, or collecting too many pink clouds while you search for stars, turns all remaining clouds gray. And even though collecting gray clouds on the correct screens will still reveal a star, they'll deduct points from your score, draining your life away. And did I mention that your life score slowly drains anyway, just as you're flapping around? Maybe this is why seagulls need to steal so many french fries to keep their energy up with all those calories. In any case, this whole gray cloud business is what really makes Fathom so difficult. If you search for stars in too many of the wrong places, you lose all your chances to score and, more than likely, you'll run out of life before assembling the trident and saving Neptina. And this even applies to the dolphin sections, where entering and exiting screens too many times turns the seahorses into octopi, so if you haven't collected enough to earn the bird icon before that happens, your rescue mission is over right then and there. Now, this isn't too much of a problem in the first round, where margins for error are pretty big, but every round after that adds extra screens to explore. The dolphin dives through more octopi areas, the seagull can fly further to the left as volcanoes juggle lava rocks to let you slip past instead of outright blocking you with the stream, and cloud screens stack higher and higher and higher into the sky. And with so much real estate to explore, Fathom becomes a game of trial and error as you figure out which screens house stars and which you should stay out of to delay the inevitable arrival of gray clouds, aka your impending doom. And this is especially important if you want to beat the game. Yep, that's right. Fathom is an Atari 2600 game you can actually beat, provided you save Neptina 7 times. Now, did I save Neptina 7 times to beat Fathom? Technically, yes, but I had to do some serious cheating to make that happen. I mean, I have no patience for search action games to begin with, so actually finishing this one meant I'd have to do one of 2 things. Either look up a strategy guide telling me where to find all the stars without wasting my time and resources searching empty screens, or use save states to bookmark the game section by section so I can reset if I don't find stars and save my progress if I do. I opted for the save states, because even though it meant going through nearly every screen of the game, the bookmarks let me fall back on whichever checkpoint I needed to maintain my score, and subsequently, my life meter. Which is probably the most unique aspect of Fathom. Not only does the scoring act as health, it also has an unusual way of compiling as you go. See, you start every new round with 50 points, so any extra you earned in the previous round is stored in a bank for your final score, instead of being available as bonus life points, which can definitely make things more difficult. That is, unless you ended a round with less than 50 points, in which case the reset actually saves you from a deficit. Either way, it's a system I've never encountered in any other game, and it's pretty complex for the Atari. And the same goes for the graphics here. Imagic really went crazy with all the animations and gradients and layouts in this game. And there are even bespoke sound effects for everything, from finding stars to collecting clouds to taking damage to diving through sea screens with that neat echoey cascade of 8-bit tones. Really puts a lot of other 2600 games to shame. I only wish there was some more ambient stuff in the soundscape, like white noise for the seashore or rumbles for the volcanoes. That being said, I do love how much variety there is in this game, even if it gets a bit convoluted and frustrating to people like me who don't take well to the whole search action genre. So if I could mitigate that by changing one thing here, I'd ditch the whole gray cloud element so the player could search for stars as much as they need to, without being afraid of covering too much ground in the wrong areas. Overall, Fathom is an extremely inventive game, marred only by its complexity and harsh penalties. Even still, I'm more than happy to keep flapping around as a mermaid-saving seagull in search of golden french fries. Tridents. Yeah.